Do we answer your questions, Morgan? Yeah, did we answer?
Yeah, I calculated my credits and stuff like that. So I'm good now.
As long as you have 120 and you do everything on that check sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I'll open that up for you guys too, because I'm sure you all have questions about the
Oh, I
check sheets.
talked to Dr. Jackson. She said the biology was fine. So.
Oh, good. Okay, good. See how it all works out?
Yeah, I was.
It is weird because everything that seems to be a panic is not.
Also,
Yep.
I didn't get registered for this class until yesterday, so whatever you guys did on Tuesday.
That's fine. I do have a recording if ever you catch COVID or miss class or Zoom in. It's on Dr. Trouth's channel at Central State.
Yeah.
If needed. You should be okay. We went over the syllabus. There's 3 major assignments.
Oh, wait, we have class Tuesdays?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, on my schedule it just said Thursday.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Does it say like TR?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That means Tuesday and then R is Thursday. It's fine. It's all right. We're forgiving.
Okay.
We still get you guys what you need. I know there's a quadrillion questions at first. Why is it so hard to find just like a blank check sheet?
You know, I just do too much stuff over it. You
Huh?
have to go to the BSW Student Hub to find one.
Do they have one?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Let's try it here. So, and we could weed this out. Does anybody even have a check sheet question? Because I like to do all of these for you because then you won't have questions in the long run. Here's what it looks like. Here's what you got to do. 9 social work classes seems kind of easy, but there still is also these 2, stats and research.
Wait, at first I thought someone was mine. I'm like, wait, did you put mine on there?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I don't want to
be.
be opening something if you don't want it to be seen or shown.
It's not though, because I didn't even get to the book.
Did you send my thing for an audit?
Did I say what?
Did you send my check sheet for an audit?
Is that the exact one?
Yes.
Do they have to be honest now?
They don't, but it's always fun to they appreciate when we're early. They're like, you guys in social work are so fucking early. Everybody does them. Huh? No, and I am too. So I'll send them now. People send them the last day of the semester. So it's like.
So you can't get an audit until you're a senior?
It's kind of a waste of your time. Because we should be doing our own calculations. You know, you took these classes.
Right.
You've got a social work advisor that's guiding you on these 9 classes and then stats and research. You probably have an ed advisor. That's where yours is confusing. But
Oh, I told my education advisor, if I get done with my social work stuff before I get done with my education stuff, I'm gonna graduate with just a social work degree.
who is the advisor? They're probably going to hate us now, aren't they?
Start with an R and ends with a Tolbert.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that's reasonable. Like,
It is. Anybody else double majoring? You don't have to in social work. That's the thing. I hate to hate on other majors, but I was a psych major who graduated with a degree.
I'm a psych major hater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a psych major hater, and I used to be a psych major.
We can talk.
I'm a psych major graduate, and yes. But I still try to spread the love. If you want a psych major, you can get it. In social work, we honor your choice, self-determination. If you want an ed degree, get it. If you don't want to waste your fucking time, talk to me. I'll get you through so quick.
Because I told
Literally.
this freshman,
And find you money.
yeah, I told this freshman, she was like, I want to be a therapist. I'm like, what's your major? She said psychology.
Is that-
So
Nope.
I said, change it to social work.
I said, that's not right.
I said, change it to social work. You're not coming out of your undergrad being no therapist.
So I said, I'm like, so you're gonna get your doctorate?
Mhm.
Well,
that's
I'm like,
fine.
but then you need to major in social work.
You do. Right. Because here's our 9 classes. Well, and then you guys only need 1 elective. So,
If
1, 2, 3.
I did. Wait a minute, where's cultural
No.
sensitivity?
This is old. I think it's cultural competence is what it used to be.
Okay. That's probably, look how the numbers even jacked up.
Who knows what year this is from? It just pulled out of it. This is downwards.
I do. Eeny, meeny, miny,
It don't look
mo.
like nothing changed much. Though.
Not much. Because in social work, these are the core classes. And then this is like your first year of graduate school. That's why you're able to skip a year, right there, you're in grad school. When you take this class, I took it in grad school.
Oh.
Dang.
Isn't that crazy?
That's it.
So really-
HBSE, I took in grad school.
So that's why social work grad school is really a year.
They start you a year early. Your senior year, you're getting practice stuff. You're doing a practicum. I had 900 hours. You'll only do 500 hours of practicum in grad school.
Yeah, and usually only
Oh, yeah.
you only do 2 placements. if you
Yes.
accelerate it. Because like my first
I did
semester of
3.
grad school will be a placement.
Yes.
And then my last semester.
I did 3, and that was in 2001. So we're talking 23 years ago. Not much has changed.
Trying to find a good grad school is like a problem because I don't want to move too far. I don't want to move all the way up to Cincinnati.
We've got tons around here.
And it's
Go to
like
UD. There you go.
Miami Middletown.
private town.
Miami Middletown's a
Private school or
Miami's not private at all.
Okay.
And they have great minds and they've got a full ride. If you do an education placement, did you ever hear about this one?
It's like social work education.
No, because the reason I did education too, not besides me getting free tuition, but also because I was supposed to be a school social worker. So I'm like, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
might get paid extra money for being able to teach a class. And stuff.
They'll give you a full ride if you want to be a school social worker.
Did you go to Miami?
I taught there.
Okay, I was just like, where did the shirt come from?
They made us
I'm
they
finna
made
go
us
to-
buy it. It was free. If anything's free, I take it and wear it for
Yeah.
20 years.
Which school social worker though, did you still need the education degree?
To be a school social worker, you do not need an ed degree. You don't. You all have, both of you all first day here today. You got access.
Yeah, but you get like extra
Oh.
money for doing
Maybe.
their
D2L.
Their school-based.
Did I go
social work
here
master's
from my
program,
student portal?
That's cool.
which is like a
Basically,
concentration.
I'm in the student portal right now.
And I want to do school social work.
And then your first
Yeah,
Your first assignment is observing a group.
for sure.
They're molded to be who they are.
Pretty much.
Observe a mental health group. So you could do it
Well, part of me also wants to work with
anywhere.
I like older. Like
This
it's
is
generous.
generous-
I like
generalist
people who are
practice too?
firm.
It is.
Okay, okay.
It's about groups. It's groups. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong. I see. Okay. Thank you.
Could you
Thank
tell me how
you.
to get to this website?
I have, this is the class in an hour. So thank you for,
Okay.
One of like.
Yeah, I just
right
think
now,
I'm logged in as a
I'm
kid. I was logged into my
like,
student portal.
okay.
and I know that's my capacity that I can't do.
So all of you could get the syllabus?
I did get the syllabus.
Okay.
Been in school for a couple of years, so I don't know if it's like the same system, kids over it, like whatever.
And then you.
Right. It is. So believe it or not, you guys had Schoology then. You're thinking about Schoology.
Just like, what's this Blackboard?
It's the
Oh,
same
here, do you want
thing.
help?
It's
Oh,
called-
Go to the Central State website,
Got you.
and then when you look it up, hit. Go to
That's what I had.
Students. Oh, yeah.
I had Blackboard in 2001.
Is it like 4?
That old?
Yeah, hit info 4, and then hit current
Do you know how to get
That was
in
just on
contact
the
with
portal.
Global? Because my mom wants to get her bachelor's in social work, but she
And
doesn't
it
want
might
to come
try to make you walk into your email.
to school because she's a nurse right now,
Yeah,
but she wants to do online.
Oh, okay.
which we don't. We are not accredited to offer that online, but
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Miami does, UC does, and NKU does.
Is what?
Online degrees.
Because
You
she
have to,
thought about either doing a
UC
social
does,
work or
Ohio
a
State
special
does.
education.
Even the Ivies do.
oh, they do, but they're probably $80,000.
Oh, Ohio State got a
But-
program too for social workers. If you have all these, it's only like their program. 3 program.
Oh, that's the big thing, is that you need to graduate with.
They
at
do want you to
least
have a good
B
number.
in your social work classes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
usually to get the accelerated
That's
one.
fine.
So here's your syllabus. Your 3 major assignments. I'll start with that. Observing a group. Let me download this. I'm glad you saw that I was on the wrong page. I do sleep 2 or 3 hours a night lately because of the kids. So it's like, I'll still get you what you need, but it'll
Yeah.
take a minute.
That's funny. How are the kids now?
They're good. One's due in a week and a half.
She's pregnant again?
Yeah, but it's probably the same pregnancy that was.
Oh, okay.
It's probably the same one if you had me in the spring.
I do fall. I thought
Well,
she just had your.
she just had Tommy on New Year's of pretty much last year. So they're all 19 months apart. One is 10 months apart, 10 and a half, the first two, then 19, then 20 months apart.
That's crazy.
Whew. It is crazy. We're old. That's why. We're like, can we have a baby? Yup. So you observe a group for your first assignment. And then that's right. So what you fill out on your sheet is at the end of the syllabus, the group assessment report. It looks like this. Maybe I should paste that into the assignment too, because people always ask me, where is that? So it's this, like, you literally can fill this out. During the pandemic, I tried to find you all online groups you could observe. People have seemed to like that still, I guess, because you can do it from the comfort of your own home. It would be awesome if you got a real group in person at a clinic, but I understand if you can't. So I get it.
Would they let you go there and just sit and take notes?
You have to get permission, obviously,
Okay.
but yes, like that you are a social work student. So entirely up to you. AA.org is fine too. Like if you went to AA.org and observed a meeting, it has to be an open AA meeting. That means anyone's welcome. Closed meetings are for if you identify as an alcoholic, you can go to a closed meeting. Same with Al-Anon family groups. Open meeting is welcome. And maybe we'll bring it back even more basic. If any of you ever been like to a group or led a group or even led a freaking summer camp, yeah, that you have to do like not treatment planning, but they call it something else out of education. Is it like you plan your day? What do you do with the kids? What do you?
Well, I'm a percussionist, so I just ran the drum line for I had 3 different classes where different age groups, so like almost like middle school and high school students and younger kids for each drum line. So I just for the kids that were like more experienced, just had, play things that were more complicated for it. It was like more advanced in percussion.
So you had to have something planned or shit was chaos, right? They come in like, ah, and like, where's the food? Where's the snacks? And like, if you don't have anything planned, that's the same in groups as a social worker. When I led trauma group at Lighthouse, we did have snacks, but we tried to get through the trauma material first. We tried to get through the percussionist material first, right? Like you're teaching them percussion. Was that the idea? Or
Yeah, so
okay.
Like I said, with the younger kids, they don't usually know like the basic rudiments, which rudiments are just like what you learn when you first start becoming a drummer. So for them, I would actually be teaching them rudiments versus like with the middle schoolers, they had already been playing drums for a while. So we would just go straight into it and actually run the rudiments 1 through 40.
Okay. I'm trying to think of I usually have a few weeks for you guys, so I'm going to do September. But like, say here's what you write up. It could be either AA.org or Al-Anon. If you want to take the easy way out, you can observe a group on AA.org, and they got them all around the clock, 24 hours a day.
It's crazy.
Because it's the main mental health offering of the world that's in like 100 languages, 200 countries, and mostly English. So yeah, say you pop into, let's go on this because I have too many windows open. I won't find our window. We'll go into here. Oh yeah, you can book with me too if you need to. You see my terrible offerings. I can have a session at 5 a.m. Saturday. Because usually then the kids wake up at 6. 2 on Wednesday.
At 6?
Why
Why are they up so early?
Right?
The fat dude's hungry. He's like, give me a bottle. He's like, he gets hungry every 2 or 3 hours.
Well, like, if you put them at like, what time are they going to sleep? Like 8?
Yeah, that's part of
Yeah,
it too.
that's not that bad.
But I put some weird times. They used to have 9 p.m. Sunday, but I guess I pulled that out because somebody actually took me up on it, and my wife was pissed. She's like, I need help putting them to making sure they're asleep at 9 p.m. Anyway, so here is AA.org. If you were like a newcomer going to a meeting, or you guys are a social worker directing somebody to any meetings, cookies. I hate cookies. So say you go to, if I remember, so this is their main website, but a lot of times I'll search like online AA meeting near me. Say you're like, got a dude wants to quit drinking, or even a college student, like, man, every time I drink, once I start, I can't stop. I'm blacked out during class. I want to quit. Where can I go? So you direct them here. And here's the meetings, AA Dayton online. So this is, I guess, local. It doesn't have to be in Dayton. I guess let's think global too. What all cities are you all from?
Oh, can we do Fort Wayne,
Yeah,
Indiana?
yeah. Online or in person? You would rather in person?
Yeah, I want to see.
You can. There are open meetings in person. So first year I taught this class, we all it was at night. So we left at 7 and went to an 8 o'clock meeting, done at 9, and then we went home. I don't teach night classes anymore. That was like old school.
Do they
So
even have night classes here? Still?
I think they do have
I had a night class today. Well, kind of, it's like 5:15.
we never had them.
That's not enough.
We never had them just because nobody shows up. And if you don't have 7 students, they won't run the class at all. So, yeah, you got a bunch of in-person meetings too. Sober.com. That's funny. So it gives you a schedule. If you're doing it from your dorm, that's why I mentioned.
Wait, they got AA meetings online.
Question of the day is.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So if you want to observe a
Question of the
group,
day is, who's going all the way out there for an AA meeting?
Fort Wayne,
No, I'm talking, so like go back, if you go back on the website,
that
yes, Sunny Lane is stupid far.
is it.
Yeah, it's
Bunch of,
you're
like,
heading
Country
out.
bumpkins out there, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like.
Right.
it's
Anybody can be,
Yeah, they try to have them everywhere. 'Cause you're not defined by
Yeah.
race, class, socioeconomic status. Alcoholism affects everybody.
Yes. Hard.
They got to
In a
get
main
sober,
city.
man. Yeah, they got to get sober. They're all over. So
but also like not to, but like some people who attend meetings also don't have cars and they need them.
yeah, you got to
Or
walk
take the
there. You got a
bus.
DUI, so
Well,
you
yeah,
can't.
I mean, like it's people out in the far out.
So online made
Yeah.
a whole new world for everybody. It was crazy. I never thought this would happen.
Do you think it's still effective though? Like,
I don't like online personally. If that's what you're asking, my personal opinion, I hate it. Is that what you're saying?
Or like somebody who got like an addiction, would like
Right.
online service really be effective?
I guess if you got nothing else. What's that? What'd you say?
Forgot I was here.
Yeah.
Right.
We're in the same city, so when I said that's far, I was like,
Yeah, I'm from Fort Wayne.
Oh, you're both from Fort Wayne
Mhm.
because you're not used to having anybody else from Fort Wayne, right? That is interesting,
No,
huh?
I don't know anybody here at all.
I went to a wedding in Fort Wayne in 2001.
I know 4 people from Fort Wayne on campus.
Right. And because it was Fort Wayne, we went from Cincinnati. We did the bachelor party in Windsor so we could buy Cuban cigars and then gamble and then go to the wedding.
That's crazy.
Because it felt close to Windsor, Canada. I don't know why. It's probably not.
Yeah, I don't. That's not no.
But we knew we couldn't buy a Cuban cigar and gamble in Ohio back then in 2001.
Yeah.
Canada from
Detroit,
Fort Wayne
like
is
2.5.
Yeah, so that's a good 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We went bachelor party, wedding, done.
That's funny. That's crazy. It's 4.
So if you want it online, you guys can do that. When I search online meetings, they're every hour on the hour. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know, like if you didn't type a location or you do virtual meetings. So there's so many different ways. If you want to do online, if you know a placement you want to work at, you could do it there. You just got to get permission. So what do you want to look for when you're observing the meeting? Stuff from our book. I know that sounds scary. Stuff from our book. Let's see if I can give you all the PowerPoints. That might be it. That would be fun if it is. Let's share that. Group class at UC, or no, I taught it in the summer at UC. Any of you guys take it? That's it. This is it. Okay. Hope that works. So there is a lot of What? I only have one left. It must be like. No, but there's all the notes. That's good. Okay. I can share that with you guys. So, leading a group, the best part about the fact that you're observing a group, first assignment, leading a group, second assignment, and then creating a group for your third assignment. When you're interviewed at a job, they'll be like, have you ever led a group before? And most people are like, no, why? But you can be like, yes, I led a group in class. So you're all going to take the chance to lead the group after you observe. So first 3 weeks, you're going to get the chance to observe either online, AA.org, in person. If you go, what places are around here? Maybe Dr. Hunt runs groups? I don't even know.
I think Dr. Hunt does run it.
If she'd let you observe one, you could totally use hers. If that's easiest, just showing up in person, tell hers for this class. If you want to do AA.org, that's fine too.
Do you think Wilberforce have a counseling service?
They have a counseling degree,
Then you got-
so I would hope they got something.
You
know what I mean?
Wait, they have a counseling degree?
Apparently, but I think it is specialized rehabilitative counseling, but it's like, and I don't know if it's ACA accredited.
That's why I'm like, I'm scared to ever get in a group from Wilberforce.
The Wu
Yeah, the Woo.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Crazy, man.
It just sounds online, right? Did anybody here go to the Wu? I feel like somebody. So how was it? You were saying nothing's
I
in.
was just paying for a door.
You were lost,
You just paying for a door.
paying to live in the middle of nowhere, and then
Yeah, we didn't have classes in person, it was just all online.
That's
I would be
crazy.
confused.
It was a waste of time, honestly. And they kept raising tuition and then not accommodating anything like, we had a fruit fly infestation during the
Ooh,
like it was, we only had
So they
two
weren't
dorm
paying.
buildings.
So it's not like they can move y'all.
No.
And it's
They
all
got students
online.
staying over here.
Yeah, they do it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they all in green, and they tear green down, like green.
Do they
was
trash it?
already- Like, yeah, like green was already bad, but since the Woo moved in here and I went over there, it's like, where's your hall coordinator, and why do y'all not care?
They're like hot boxing every room, hanging out.
And they taking up all the parking spots.
Really?
Yeah.
It is packed over there.
Oh my goodness.
Is that because they got this construction over there?
No, that's we share a parking spot with, so Anderson and Green and the ones share a parking lot.
Yeah, 3
Okay.
doors share one parking lot. That's crazy.
Okay.
But most of the cars over there is Wilberforce.
Right.
So here's your directions. I'm trying to make this as clear as mud if I can, like so. You answer all these questions when you observe it. I know some of it go back to the book, which I'm going to send you like a shortcut to our book because I'm not sure how they access you all with the book right now anyway. Do you know? Do they give you access to anything?
It's like, it's on there.
I hate online stuff so much.
So we're gonna need the book for this class before I cancel it.
So
I bought the book and I'm declining my textbooks. Like, I
Wait, so
bought
don't
it.
buy the book. Don't buy the book.
I can send you PowerPoints and notes. I can never say don't buy it, but like I can't say that. But like it would be good to have on your shelf. I might have an extra copy laying around somewhere. If you really need something, I can give you a copy. Y'all can share it.
That's like $800.
No, it wasn't like this.
It was 800.
I
No,
bought
I'm
it.
talking like if we like keep our book, like if we keep our books, like that's like an extra 8 on our account.
No, I just bought one off Amazon. I bought a used one for like, anywhere from like $30 to $50.
Oh, yeah, see, that's
Yeah, I'd rather pay online.
Yeah, and then now I get to keep it. Plus, they're not charging me the 360. What is it?
Yeah,
360.
You feel me? It's- Somebody probably bought that book for $800 and put it back on Amazon for $30 because they couldn't figure out where to get rid of it.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely a different and brave new world. So,
Like our school tricks us to say
So this is due September 2nd.
yeah, I'm trying to do them all like a
it's
few
more the,
weeks
it's
apart.
included.
Yeah, and then even with our washing and dryer, they said washing machine is free. No, it's not. You can only use a light
We got a
washer.
class in school actually.
Not
Get
yet.
to these pages.
Oh, let me do medium.
Unless you do medium.
You have to,
Yeah,
you
the
have to hit
group-
it twice though.
I'm still here in
For
the
heavy,
summer.
it's at 25 cents.
Probably, I guess because of the amount of water.
Then it's not free.
Yeah, I did medium and then I just like hit it twice.
So,
Or like you can add time on the dryer for getting start multiple times.
have any of you worked for nonprofits yet?
No.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was great.
Okay.
I worked at Ohio Health, so
Okay.
it was cool. But the thing that I didn't like about it was the people.
Okay. Right.
Not like the clients or
The
anything.
leaders and stuff.
Yeah.
People that get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, it was more so you can tell like they didn't really want to be there. It was more so they was just kind of really hungry and wanted to get rid of it.
Wow, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
There was a time when people actually wanted to be social workers and stuff, or nonprofit workers. You could buy a house with $30,000 a year.
Yeah, it's like giving like when I become rich and I just own my own private practice and I don't see anyone and then I can go like work for a nonprofit.
Right, I know,
Or,
right?
like,
I get it.
Or like
Yeah.
I'll retire and I'll just like work. For
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it's giving.
So when you work at these nonprofits, they got legal, ethical, and multicultural trainings they'll give you. So it'll come by trainings. When you lead a group, you've got to see where these overlap. Is basically there's laws, they're different in every state, they're different in every county, but there's some like basic laws, like we can't just go out and shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Like there's laws that go almost everywhere. Then there's laws that like in Ohio, you can't drive with the plates on the front of your car. I don't think they even changed that, or the back of your car or something like that's changed. Then you've got ethics, and they always overlap somewhere. But the point of it being, when you're leading a group, you do want to try to make sure to stay within the scope. We've got our own social work code of ethics. Have you guys gotten a copy of that yet? It's totally free. You download it off socialworkers.org.
Yeah, I think I've seen it before. For sure.
I bought the physical copy.
Oh, did you?
I'm sorry, I'm old now.
Okay.
I need it.
Yeah, like a print. No, I would want print everything. I'm with you.
I know like paperwork better than
I have a physical copy of everything. That's
And I
why.
know why, because my plan is to write it.
oh, that's fine.
So you'll have laws and ethics overlap, and that's kind of like the section in your group where they do overlap. We are aiming to do this. With ethics, you have a suggested standard of conduct. It's based on our professional values, which you guys will go through. Like you don't need to memorize autonomy. I can't even pronounce them all. Beneficence, non-malfeasance, justice, fidelity, veracity. Those are our main group of ethics and social work. Like we want to help people. We want to do no harm. We want to do good. Beneficence, non-malfeasance, do no harm. Justice, we want to get them what is needed, what's their unmet need, how can we meet their needs. Fidelity and veracity, like be honest and open and transparent about it. You're not going to need to memorize this because you can always download it and look it up. Like, is there an ethic of this? Is there ethics for that? They got a lot. Oh, here's the major group ethical issues. So training group leaders, your agencies will have to train you. Like they're not going to hire you and say, go lead this group. Just like even in here, I'm not telling you, you've got to run a group, go figure it out. I gave you a manual on the website. You'll download it. It'll tell you step by step how to lead this group. And it's our most recent announcement. Let me make sure. Oh man, did I get rid of D2L? Damn it. Here we go. You do history, right? Is that how you do it? So on the announcements page, I gave you guys a copy of it. So here is how to lead a group. Here's your curriculum. They sell this for $10,000. I ripped it off a Lighthouse hard drive.
I ripped it off.
I did. So don't sell it. You'll get me in trouble. You can use it as for educational purposes only. I use this because this is, well, the best for me to find, the most detailed. Don't freak out that it's 100 pages because you're going to pick just one of these 10 weeks and it's only, well, here they are. So say you lead week 1, it's 6 pages. Or if you want to lead week 2, it's either connecting with each other or you lead a group on labels, exploring new perspectives. This is called Girl Circle. They also have one for boys. I couldn't find that one, but this is Girl Circle. You can change it however you want to. So take the framework, make it your own, or do it exactly how it is. You can use this for your final paper too. So this is already assignment number 2. There's only 3 major assignments in this class. So the first one speaks for itself. In 3 or 4 weeks, observe a group, turn in that paper. The next month and a half, you'll sign up for a date to lead a group here. You'll be sitting up here where I am, and you're running the ship. And then the final, and I'll probably do 2 turn-ins. That's worked out better, like an outline of your paper and then your final. You can use how you created this group for your final paper. I do like also to look into funding. That's why I'm going to get into grant. How do we pay for ourselves as social workers? A lot of times you do have to write grants. There's tons of money on grants.gov that you can look at. Knowing how to write is key and essential because as long as my dyslexia showed through in my writing, I didn't get shit for grants. They're like, who the fuck are you? And then when I was able to get editors and people look at my shit and make it better, they're like, okay, yes, your proposal for your group makes sense. We're going to give you $500,000 for a horticulture therapy group at the counseling center at Central State University. So editors are good, editing your stuff. Citations where citations are due. But pick any of these weeks. Usually a group is 10 to 12 weeks. I know what I should do. Because if I download this, it'll open in PowerPoint instead of on the web. There we go. Okay. Any questions so far? Am I like blowing right over all of your heads and you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Or okay.
Okay.
Sorry I cussed. I apologize.
You said, okay, we have to find, so we either could go to physically go to a group or do an online group at aa.org, you said?
That's one of the easiest options that comes to mind.
Okay.
So
In person-
Like it doesn't have to be AA, it can be like any group.
It should be a mental health group. I know AA fits in that category because there is addiction and mental health recovery
I'm
in
still
this.
got ideas of what I should do for groups, so it can be no random group.
You go to the Justice Center in downtown Xenia where the kids are all locked up and getting groups. If you got permission, like I think we have internships there. If you don't have a car, I think we take the Green Cat.
I've never been on there.
I'm so weak. I just now seen that.
Right, because a lot of people need it for their placement to go downtown. Or you get a bike and go 3 miles. I ran downtown. I was running all last semester, 2 semesters ago. Then they closed the gym.
Yeah, they did.
So I would run downtown. It's kind of fucked up. It's like 8 miles round trip.
Yeah, when they gonna open it back up though? Like, that's the problem.
They never opened that gym.
No.
It's killing me.
You talking about like NBC?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still not
So-
open.
Like, what the hell? It's been 10 months.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, you got all your ethics, training. Again, your agency, when you get hired, will do this. Maybe your internship. They might make you lead a group in your internships. How many of you all doing an internship in the next year and a half? Juniors or seniors? I guess I will be. So they could have you lead a group. You'll be like, oh, yeah, I'd let a group, no problem. They should have a curriculum for you like I just showed you here. Let's do a split screen. Half there. Then I had, where the hell is D2L? Did I lose it again? I opened another Dropbox. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to download this again. See why I have multiple copies of everything?
I do. Like the amount of stuff I think you've downloaded in the past, like
Because they gave me a new computer. That was their number one mistake. Because now I have like unlimited storage. Well, I'm sorry. I wrote this in our grant for our most recent grant. You can't get a Mac unless if you write the exact specs of the Mac that you want. They give you a Dell that's $99 if you don't write the specs. So I try to detail our grants, just like the laptops you guys got. I don't know what those are worth.
it's over $500.
Is it?
Yes.
Nice.
My
Dude.
Mac is worth, I think, close to two. Around close to two.
See, and then it makes you think different. A Mac and a Dell.
How do we get them laptops?
I know, right? There's another grant, so we got to keep writing grants. You write one with me.
I do want to learn how to write grants because I want to start a nonprofit for bringing kids.
This is the class for it. Like, I know it sounds weird, but like funding to create a mental health group at an agency out of nowhere requires usually government printed money. And to access that printed government money, you got to know how to write. It's weird though. Is it's like they print the money? Like if they can print money, why the fuck can't we print money?
I remember I asked my mom that, and she told me go put a dollar bill in the printer, and it did print.
Oh, it did.
It did.
Oh, it didn't.
No.
Like they have a copyright thing on it.
Yeah, like my mom was like, I was like, why can I not check this dollar bill and just print it on the printer? She said, go put it in the printer.
Holy shit!
She was really trying to humor you.
I'm done.
And you're like, it didn't print, or it was
Yeah,
like,
it don't print
okay,
money.
that is freaking hilarious. So you guys see, most groups are 10 weeks. When I led the trauma group at Lighthouse, it was 10 weeks. They often do that because you could then run 4 groups every year. Like every quarter, you do a group: fall, spring, winter, summer. Do we get into why groups are the agency's favorite venue of delivering services?
Make the most money.
Because you could see like 1,000 clients at once in a DUI group. When I see one-on-one, you get $100 an hour. But if you do a group, it's $33 an hour per person. So if you got 100, you get $3,300 for an hour at that agency. If you have 1,000 in your DUI group, you get $33,000 in that hour for the agency. We don't get paid that as social workers, but like the agencies do. So you start your own agency and you run some groups, create your own group, write a grant, do the material. It is a possibility. Like you get your independent license. It's always there for the taking.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I thought about that.
That's why they like the groups. Is anybody?
Yeah, I never.
It's crazy. We would often have like 10, but even then yet it would be $330 that hour for the group at Lighthouse for those kids instead of the $95 an hour for individual work. So they liked it. And then they had 19,000 clients. I don't think you see 19,000 clients at GCB or Lighthouse in Cincinnati without having groups. There's no way you see 19,000 clients. How many social workers do you need to see 19,000 clients? That's what GCB has. That's why I keep quoting that number. Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health, GCB. So there's all your groups. If you want to see how it's run, they're mostly all about 6 pages, and it tells you start to finish, like opening circle, opening theme. You could bring music in. You could bring in mindfulness group, meditation, self-care. I'll skip ahead to that. So say you lead week. Oh, this gives you the overview. But the 10 options are connecting with each other, labels, exploring new perspectives, expressing myself, accepting all different parts of myself. This is a girl circle. Cultivating respect, giving voice to feelings, 1 and 2. Romantic relationships. What is it worth to you? Girl fights or girlfriends, wholeness and completion. So those are all the different themes to lead. Then about 20 that, well, yeah, what are the activities in the group? Here's your materials. If you need some, I can try to help you get stuff if needed. Probably Dr. Hunt has all of that stuff too. Then the purpose, and then how you're prepared. So this is, say you pick week 1 or 2, I would just jump to like where they give you the 6 pages of how to run group week 1. And so a lot of times you'll have an opening ritual. Even AA has this because they'll read like the stuff like the primary purpose for Alcoholics Anonymous is for those who have a desire to stop drinking. They read through all of the different things and what you're doing. Then they open the discussion and then close it out. But you'll introduce, if you do this specific mental health group, your theme might be to process the basic girl circle format. Okay, here's where the bullet points to get into it. So sometimes in society, girls' relationships are strained, backstabbing, competition, judgment, fighting. Girl Circle aims to develop true relationships and friendships to learn and relate to each other in a healthy, honest way and to support each other. So you can put this on note cards. You can lead it with your laptop if that's easier. If you want to read off of whatever, that's okay. And then you'll say, that probably because this is week 1, the purpose of Girl Circle is to unite young women and girls together for friendship, respect, sisterhood, not judgment. Girl Circle is meant to be safe for girls, safe space to have successful, meaningful relationships. Oh, this is the actual leading of it. So icebreaker, maybe it's music, maybe it's lighting a candle. Highs and lows of the week, you can do that. Like we go around the room right now and say like, what was your high of the week? What was your low of the week? That's common in group. groups. This one has a flip chart. This in week 1 they have you make rules like don't speak over each other, don't be rude, don't be snappy, stuff like that. This is still week 1, so go around, have them do check-in. Oh, this is really getting into the meat of it now. Seems like they go through it so many times. The activity is called the Commonality Beads game. So each week has a different activity like that. Yep.
Can, well, for AA, is that usually, I know it's usually just for like alcoholics, but is it also for like people who like are coming back from like doing meth or heroin or like drugs like that?
There's
They
narcotics anonymous.
They could, right. And then if they specialize, it would be Narcotics Anonymous. But if they did both, you'll have people that want to quit drinking and quit smoking the rock. Like it depends. Like it's their choice. Like or whatever it is. I'm just trying to
So the first assignment is basically us
observing it,
And
right.
then the second one is gonna be when we actually make our
Performing the group, right. So it shifts
when
quick.
we're at the head.
Like you're leading it. You are the leader. And this manual sent out over announcements, you can download it, own it. It tells you literal start to finish how to run a group. You don't have to use this. You can just look up on the internet, like leading the mental health group, outline for mental health group. The one we used in my practicum in 2001 at Hope Center Recovery in Lexington was called Recovery Dynamics. They said that was a $10,000 manual. I kept trying to get a copy of it. They're like, you can't have a copy. This was back before like digital stuff multiplied everything.
Like, if you don't just take that to the printer and just like scan it in real quick.
They did not let me. Like I got it while I led the group as an intern, and like I gave it back. They're like, give that back. And it
I'm
was-
getting it right now, stuff.
Right, yeah. And it wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was cool that it was all written out in outline form, just like this is. So I'm like, for ed purposes, I share it with you guys. Don't sell it on the internet. They'll shut you down. And that's what we have to say as educators. Like when I try to share you books and PowerPoints, I say this is for educational purposes only. Don't go selling this shit. We'll get in trouble. There's week 2. So it really does go through activity, materials, purpose, and then how you prep. So there's your prep. I guess that's just your like quick 1-pager. Then you go into like ritual, theme, check-in, activity 1. This one is video quest game. Whose line is it anyway? And activity 2. And then sharing the activity. And then closing ritual. So it's, did I give you all the billable hours and social work, how they usually do that?
You pulled it up, but you didn't like put it in RD2L.
Right. Mainly because it doesn't matter, but like the minimum you're going to bill for is 15 minutes. So that's like your minimum billable. And that's why I'd like you to run this group for at least 15 minutes. We always had to do a fucking hour. It sucked. Like, you know, when you're like 15 minutes, I can't do 15 minutes. When you get into the field and you bill, you got to do it 53 minutes minimum to bill for an hour. But if you did a half an hour group, it's 23 minutes. You can bill for a half an hour. If you're billing for 45 minutes, you have to face-to-face lead that group 38 minutes. You bill for 45. They round up, which is nice. But if you did it for 37 minutes, they're paying you for 30. So I would always never go over the like 31 or 35. If I was there, I'd be like, let's stretch the 3 minutes out, you know, just cause it's natural. Like for real, because they're going to round up and then you put in exactly the 38 minutes and they pay you for the 45 minutes. So that's why I ask you minimum 15 minutes. I know that is pushing it, as I remember even on freshmen, sophomores, I'm like, the presentation's 15 minutes. They're like, there's no way I can talk for 15. I get that. I hate being up here. I don't like being in front of people, but I've had to learn it. So I do like sitting back in college like it's a movie and you get to just watch. But at some point, to get paid, we got to perform. It's like you learn how to do it. Now you're in charge. I don't want to be in charge still. I keep trying to pass the buck and nobody's taking it anymore. I'm like, will you all take this? Will you take this? No. It's stressful. Any questions? Any of this junk making sense? I'm doing better at cussing, I promise.
It makes sense.
I'm still going through the syllabus, but you should define the outline for the first assignment is some here, somewhere.
The very last, so the last pages of the syllabus, it's your final paper outline and it's the first assignment.
Yeah, it's like all the way at the bottom.
It is the
It's like the
very,
last,
very,
like,
very
3
bottom.
pages.
And it's been the same since we got accredited. So that's why we have all these same exact assignments every time.
So can I just like use this as like an outline, but like actually just make my group whatever I want it to be about?
You could. That's why I'm saying, yeah, get creative. Make something like slick and unique. That's awesome. That's what you'll get paid for. Like when you create your own group and say you write a manual like this, you sell it for 10 grand. You know, like do something that's girl circle.
When you do groups, could you just like, and you're the one like holding groups, could you basically just do the same thing every single time, just slightly different?
Yes. Yeah, it is nice. So one thing that's cool is I think they call this, what do they call it in research when it's like good and foundational and evidence shows it works or heals teens and makes them better and they have evidence of better relationships. Is it like,
Evidence-based practice.
Yeah,
is
so-
probably it.
so answer your question, yes. If you can then show what you're doing is an evidence-based practice, you'll get paid. If it's not, I'm sure you'll still get paid your group rate as you have your license and you're running a group. But if you want to write a manual that's evidence-based and want to call it evidence-based, you got to show how it's evidence-based. Like AA works for a lot of people. Oh, they even get scenarios in this one. Different stuff.
Does
So-
it have to be like an actual group, or can we like make a group like say with our friends? Or does it have to be like an actual like?
It does have to be like live and in stereo and here. You can bring your friends here if you want.
Okay.
If you want your friends to be participants, they're welcome to come into class. Because sometimes, you know, it helps to have more. If that's during the pandemic, we did have to have you film it and run it with your friends because we couldn't even have class in person. So like in odd scenarios, we do that too.
Okay.
Most of social work is in person, so I'm still trying to have this stuff live and in person.
Okay.
If that answers the question, because I know you probably would feel most comfortable with your friends. Like, can I lead it?
Yeah. but
Right.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Just so you learn and you get those heebie-jeebies out for the first round of life and just lead it. And you're like, yes, I run a group and I can do another one. And you just take off from there. It always sucks doing the first thing of anything ever. And that's why these are practice classes. We're supposed to teach you how to practice.
Wait, so how will we run a group on the AA.org, or do we just sit and?
You sit and participate and observe.
Okay. Okay.
So you're observing all of it and then writing up what you see and like how it
Okay.
was run.
It's like in the bottom of the syllabus, it's like broken down for like what you're actually like looking for
Okay.
and like the organization of it. I guess to get inspo.
Get what?
Inspo.
What? Oh,
Inspiration.
inspired. Right. Yeah. And if you did a real one at Dr. Hunt's and how she runs it, that would be kind of cool. I'd like to see if she's willing to let you guys see it or
She
if,
do group?
Yeah, I sent people to her group a lot,
if she lets you observe it.
but I don't know.
She might not.
Oh, yeah, because.
She might not because it's confidential. You know what I mean?
A
That's,
lot of people who get sent there is people from judicials, who has a judicial case.
I see.
So they
Right.
have to do like mandatory drug and alcohol.
Oh,
counseling.
that's different than like it being like volunteer. Like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
not
here.
voluntary. It's-
And that's where it is hard. She might be like, nope. And same with the agencies, or the agencies are like, well, you don't even know who these people are. If you do, you got to keep it confidential and you got to sign a confidentiality statement. So it depends. That's why I put the AA thing out there is it's at least a segue into an open meeting. It's known that you can go. There's no like, I couldn't find one. I couldn't make one. There's literally an open meeting in AA like 24 hours a day.
Go sign myself up again.
What's that?
Somebody go sign myself.
Right. Yeah. Some people like that. And I found that out in the pandemic and that's why we did it. So that's all. Did you guys see any of the grants that we had done? I'm just trying to see if
it now.
Okay.
They rolled into music court. They molded my feet. I have one pair of the court Birkenstocks, and then these are.
Oh, here's one. This
I have
is,
4 of these.
It was so uncomfortable before they molded. Now that they molded,
that was our grant we just got.
like I can feel my toe is in here though, so these are fashion.
Do you write this by yourself or like it's all of you?
It was all 4 of us. I cannot take credit for this by myself. Oh, because this is just the first 4 pages. Yeah,
How long is
the big long one that I could like have and show you, it is a lot. I think it's 98 pages.
Oh,
the one
wow.
we had to submit. I know. And we have a food desert one we're doing now. Oh yeah, here it is. So like you submit this to NEFA and it has everything. And you got to type it in and fill it out. Show all your conflicts of interest, which is like people you've worked with, your friends, your families.
Mm-hmm.
We can't put everybody on the payroll as like a family member. We can't pool like the crime family status. It will be fun, but you're not allowed to do that. It is illegal. I shouldn't say it's fun. And then, yeah, what we needed, we're going to do a greenhouse. Dr. Hunt's going to hire a new counselor. We're going to travel to present this at conferences, how she led the horticulture therapy group. Had to put in our weak-ass salaries. We get paid lowest in the state of Ohio. And then the meat of it is like, yeah, budget justification. So we asked for $100,000 there. The total was $599. It's awarded as long as we get IRB approval to run a horticulture therapy group.
Over $500,000.
What's that? What'd you say?
Over $500,000 is crazy.
It is crazy. And that's why I'm like, IRB, hurry it up. We had to buy a greenhouse. That's like $50,000 to $100,000. We were hiring counselors for Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt gets a raise. It is 3 years total. $420. We called it the Therapeutic Horticulture Counseling. It's the THC grant. So they awarded us $500,000 for the THC grant.
So we're going to be growing weed.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm like, wait.
No.
I think the point is probably just to grow plants and like
It
take
is.
care of yourself as a form of self-care.
It is. You could grow hemp and make rope if that's therapeutic to you.
Crazy.
That girl.
I mean, it is all legal in Ohio now anyway, but it is funny it was called the THC grant. It's this Therapeutic Horticulture Counseling.
I was about to say, because THC.
It has nothing to do with the weed, but I thought for sure they would reject us just for that, but they didn't. So
Why did they? What?
Yeah,
Why are you
I
rejected
would
from
go
IRB
out with
approval?
they're saying like weird ass shit. Like you're not defining what a subject is. Are international students allowed in it? If they are, how do you keep it confidential? And Dr. Hunt's like, everything's voluntary, everything's confidential. You opt out at any time. We're just literally like, you've probably seen how she does it. She gives you
She gives us a plan to tell us to go about our day
that's it.
and water it.
And they're making it sound like we're making them smoke weed, like take hallucinogens or some weird shit, which we're not. It has nothing to do with that. It's like you get a mother-in-law's tongue plant, like it's hard to kill. It's one of those snake-shaped plants. That's the mother-in-law's tongue plant. It's a snake tongue. It's kind of funny that they do that. Whew. And I mean, we say what we're doing here, but they're saying we're not spelling it out well. So I do not.
Maybe they're not reading well.
Maybe you're
I don't-
reading comprehension is a subject that a lot of people struggle with in school.
Yeah, I got dyslexia. I've had it. I totally.
Like them not understanding that is nothing but the school system.
Do you know that the average American only reads at like a 10th grade level?
I'm sure of that. There's only like a third of us have a finished college degree. 1/3.
Which I find crazy.
It is
When I was
crazy.
In the 5th grade, I was reading at a 10th grade level.
My reading with dyslexia and ADHD, my whole life suffered and struggled. And like I got kicked out of schools and everything.
Now remembering it, because I have ADHD too. But remembering
That's crazy. They could kick you out of school.
Could you? Yeah. Could you got prop like what? Yeah.
I was into other stuff, I should say.
Oh, okay.
He
Now
is not
remember-
in. Some other things.
I was into some
Remembering
other
what I read was crazy. I can't remember what I read, but
So yeah, with this grant, we had to justify our project. You have to have a budget. It was 96 pages. We submitted it, and they just informed us it is accepted. We've got to get IRB approval by next month. So I'm not even like paying any of us, including Dr. Hunt, until we get IRB approval. Because I'm like, if they're going to be hard asses about it, and we don't get it, which I would think Dr. Cootie, who used to be head of research, would be like pissed because that's $500,000. You know how they're always like, we're short on money. We're short on money. We have no money.
Have you talked to him about it?
He knows. He is very aware of it.
So what is he doing?
It might get to that level here pretty soon.
Oh, were you gonna escalate it to him?
I mean, yeah, you go through like,
The
channels.
channels.
yeah, you try not to knock it out. But yeah, so this is what an overall grant. We also wrote a grant for Lighthouse. I know we're at our last like 4 minutes, but are you guys interested in any other grants? Street outreach program?
Don't you work for Lighthouse?
I did for 7 years. We're only allowed to do 1 day's work outside of Central State per the teachers union.
1 day.
One day.
How do they monitor?
Not one day.
I report it back. I say I see people at private practice and I supervise hospice on Friday.
Okay.
So I report it to them.
That's crazy. How they gonna tell you what you can and
Like
cannot
on
do?
your free time.
People get pissed about it. They're like, that's some bullshit.
So you do like all that in 1 day?
I
Ish.
consider like everybody has a different idea of a work day. I work 12 to 15 hours, but some people only do 8. That's my interpretation of it. So if they wanted to come at me like, well, you see 10 people in 2 hours supervising, I do 12-hour work days, unfortunately. Does that answer the question?
It does.
Is that a bad answer to the question? You think?
No, I was just curious.
I try to be very open-minded.
Mhm.
So here's another grant we wrote for Lighthouse. This was like $1 million. And we had to show like, homeless youth in Cincinnati, how they were affected, what we're going to do with the street outreach program, go under the bridge, bring them food, tell them there is Lighthouse for 18 to 24-year-olds and 13 to 18. There was a homeless shelter for both. If you guys want these, I can share them with you. I probably shouldn't share the one with our salaries. The other teachers might get pissed, but I could share you something that's.
Aren't you like? Can't we just publish?
It's public. It is public, but I've heard people get insulted.
Institute.
I'm about to say,
Yeah.
Here's what it is:
Last
assistant
one.
professor is $50,000 a year, associate professor is $58,000 a year, and a full professor is like $69,000 a year.
Do you get raises or no?
And you get 2% raise every year. We usually negotiate that. It should be more with the pandemic. Inflation is 5-7%. It should be 7% to keep up with inflation, but we'll see what happens with this one. You can teach summer classes for like a few thousand. You can get on grants and you're allowed a 15% bonus throughout the school year. And in the summer, you can do as much as like 100% work. So if you were like looking to max out, there's ways to max it out, but you're working 12, 15-hour days. Lowest paid in the state of Ohio.
So
So
why are
you-
you still here?
Wait, in Central?
Sorry, like
I-
not in a mean way, but
I never thought I would need more than $30,000 a year. Like when I started social work, I just wanted to be a homeless advocate. And I always believed in voluntary simplicity. I still do. I have learned to live off very little because of that. Like for a while, when I bought my first house, I was $35,000 a year, and I just would rent rooms to people. Yes, everything's doubled and tripled since then. I've had 4 kids in 4 years. I probably should start thinking more about myself recently. And do more to make sure they're paid and fed and covered. I like the mission here. I feel like we need more graduates from Central State in social work, period. I've seen it. I've worked in every agency around. So I believe in it. But that's a good question. I mean, I'm tenured here now, so
There you go.
I'm a lifer, but
lifer.
So it's more not about pay, but like the work you're doing here that you like doing.
it is because in my next class, it's in 15 minutes. I think I said something 2 days ago, and they're like, "You ain't going to be here long." I was like, I was like, tell me more about that.
Y'all be surprised what these kids be saying.
But I was like-
sorry, I was teaching at a school where the kids had looked up my Facebook account. And
Really?
they screenshotted
holy
like,
shit.
pictures of me and my family, my son, and my wife. I was like, where did y'all get these pictures from? Like, we found you on Facebook. Like, these kids is crazy. So you talk about looking up your salary.
Right.
You look up your salary.
Yeah, and maybe that's why they were saying that.
Well,
Like, you
on
can
some real
make,
stuff though, I definitely looked up somebody's salary.
Yeah.
Because my teacher had made me so mad. It was like, hi, woo, I don't have to be here.
who was it?
It was my biology teacher in
Really?
high school.
Oh, okay,
And
right.
she made us so mad. So we looked up her stuff and we printed it out and we put it on her desk.
How much do they make?
She was only making 42,000.
Right. What year was that though? Because if it was
It
pre-pandemic,
was 2021 because I was.
that does suck. Because that's when inflation started taking off.
So it's like the way she was like yelling at us and stuff like that, like talking about, I'm like, bro, like make 42,000, bro. Like if you really don't like it, you don't have to quit. You don't have to yell at us.
But the average American salary is still like 52 to 62,000 a year. That's just standard.
Like
And-
how I couldn't stand, I hated that teacher honestly because like she made it seem like we owed her and not like she was doing the service.
Right.
Wait,
We're
so
teaching
why
like
did
in
they
the
say
high
that to
schools and
you?
stuff.
Huh?
I think it's because I did mention the assistant professors 50,000, associates 58,000, and full professors 69,000.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't think it was enough. And I'm like, well, as a social worker, I've learned to live off peanuts too. I have. I'm not saying that that's right, wrong, or whatever, but like I've never really thought about it too much.
Right.
I'm not like what do they call that? Like a career jumper or a line jumper?
Oh, yeah,
We're just hot from
The job hoppers.
Yeah, is there? I don't know.
I mean, I feel like do what you like doing.
Right.
Right.
I feel like I be telling a lot of people when they like look at me because I'm going to school for social work and education, and then they're like, oh, why not engineering or something that makes the most money? It's not about the money all the time. It's about
Self-fulfillment.
are you going to work every single day?
It wasn't about the money. It was.
If you're not gonna
was.
like going to work,
This is a passion.
yeah, if you're
Yeah.
not gonna like going to work majority of your days and you're just doing it for the money, eventually your work's not gonna matter.
Right.
Have
My
you guys
brother-
made your resume yet? Because here's my little background. I guess, one person said they could teach in every area of this college. I realized my degree out of the College of Ed, I could teach out of every area of our college too. But here's I've taught 4 other places, but then all my social work is all these places. Like I've done clinical work and I still do hospice.
Can you help me with my master's resume?
Sure. It's due in November. Don't fuck it up.
No, it's due January 1st.
I always tell people 2 months early.
I've already started them though.
Okay.
So
That's why I say you got to have that shit done in December
Yeah. So all I have
because I
left-
want you to start it now.
I have to do like my personal whatever that letter is where you talk
Personal statement.
yeah
Yeah,
where you basically talk
Yeah.
why you actually want to be a social worker and then
we'll get you guys in grad school.
will you write a letter of rec for me?
I can.
Perfect.
I have a really generic template one that I send to everybody and say any changes you want put in and let me know, and then I'll let her head and sign it. But that way, because I do get tons, I will say I have to be super productive with all that shit too. So I do have kind of like a generical template one that I'll send out and say make the changes that you feel okay. If that's okay,
That's fine.
I hope people don't take it personal.
No, I wouldn't care.
Because we get so many of those. It's like, oh,
What's the difference between being a case manager and a clinical social worker?
you've got your license and your independent license.
Oh, okay.
So
wait,
you get a BSW.
Manager in a clinical social worker.
Senior year, you can take your LSW. Senior year, last semester, you can take a license test. When you graduate with your bachelor's, it goes into effect. Some people want it early. So you get BSW, LSW first. We qualify for advanced standing. When you get your master's, the day you have your master's, if you're working somewhere, it's 2 years to get an independent license. When you're independently licensed, you no longer are dependent on a supervisor. That's how I always break it down. You're independently licensed. You do whatever the F you want. You run a business, you can bill Medicare, Medicaid, all that. When you get one more year, get you LISWS, I can clinically supervise you all to get you a independent license.
So
This-
you gotta get your master's and wait for 2 years so you can get an
Yep.
LISW?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but it takes like 2 years just to do the supervision. But they probably make you pay for it.
They do, and that pisses me off. Lighthouse pays me to supervise.
So like, do people have like a normal job plus then they go somewhere else to do supervision?